Okay, I have taken the liberty to basically disassemble and clean this engine off camera to eliminate you from having to watch the boring stuff. To get the bearings out, took this torch here, took the torch and heated the case up, held it with the pair of pliers, heated the case up, grabbed it with a towel, and you just wrap it and the bearings will drop out. And here we go with the bearings right here. So I got this is kind of dusty over here, so probably need to paper towel and we'll wipe this up. I mean, this is a real simple process. This engine here is like, there's no parts in it at all. The two strokes are real simple. Let's get this bottle of alcohol here. I'll just take it off. So this is going to be a Brian Gardner liner, ABC liner in this. I wasn't going to do this, but last night the guys said, you know, they wanted to see this, so whatever. If you think I'm doing it wrong, keep it to yourself because I don't care. I built hundreds of motors in my lifetime. Now, this is not the only way to do things, but it's my way. Okay, we're clean enough, I suppose. Like a doctor's office, it doesn't have to be hermetically sealed and all that. Top fuel cars are built in a clean room, but it doesn't matter. Now here's the crankshaft. This is an odd crank I've never seen before. I have other parts over there. This web here, we're gonna run this because I think it might be good with this cutout web in here. I want to talk about this thrust washer here. There's a thrust washer that goes on the crankshaft. It has a chamfer on it. Well, it's just like the rod. That chamfer has to go towards this end, towards the cut end, because when the tool cuts this crankshaft, it leaves a radius right there. If you don't, you'll have the wrong end play. So you put it on like that. Now I'm going to take and put this in a drill and take some 5,000 grit sandpaper and sand it just to clean it up, polish it. Now, if you're one of the guys that are so lucky to have a lathe, chuck it in a lathe and use some emery cloth on it or whatever. More power to you. Okay, so let's get a piece of paper here. I lied. We're going to use 3,000. This is 3,000, so we use that. It'll be fine. And it really doesn't even need to be done. But beware of people who say they have rebuilt engines and all they've done is wire wheel them. And you don't use a wire wheel on any part of an engine. Way too abrasive. Let's see, we have any Randy snake oil here? Okay. We got some Randy's snake oil we're going to use as an assembly lube, which will be fine. So I'm just going to take this and polish it up a little. Beautiful. All that's going to do is help the bearing slide on. There's no thread on it. I cooked this in a crock pot or in my ultrasonic cleaner. This crank is going to be a difficult one to get in there. It's a tight fit. Okay, here we go. No. Let's see. Wish these people. Okay, have fun. They're going flying. My flying season's over, guys. It's too cold for me. Too cold for me. Now, why are we having a hard... This crank came out of here. Why are we having a hard time? All right, fit barely. Has to be perfect. Okay, Volca bearings. It's a bearing set. It's for Super Tiger 46. Once again, it's ENK 079HP. That is the set. You get a front bearing and a main bearing. The first thing you want to do with this main bearing is pick off the end caps. This is a sealed bearing. You don't want it sealed. Got to be able to get oil into it. Both sides. Now, when you're pushing bearings, you want to push on the side that has the numbers on it, except this one doesn't have any numbers on it. So we're going to push it in that way. What I might do is heat this case up again so it drops in. Yeah, it's a going. Might have to get a socket to go down in there to tap it. Now let's get the front bearing ready to go too. Now you just want to take one shield off the front bearing. You take one shield off. Let's see, where's the numbers? Any numbers on this? No, must be Chinese. Okay, you want to take one seal off, one shield off one side. Come on off there. Oh man, giving me trouble. Try that way. There it is. Okay. So you got one side off, and that goes towards the inside. You want to leave the shielded side out. Now, if we do this right, these bearings will drop in without a big rigmarole. So I'm heating up the case here, heating around where the bearing goes. It causes the aluminum to expand. I'm going to get a socket so I can give it a tip tap. Yeah, almost went in right there. We're almost all the way in. Maybe the front one will go in too. It got enough, maybe. Give it a tip tap. Yeah, we can pull it together. It looks seated to me, but we'll see. Let's give this a little heat here. Give the front bearing a little heat. There we go. Now we're going to use the crankshaft to line them up and pull it together. because they're going to be in a little twisted or whatever. Damn, forgot. That's hot. It didn't take long to inspect that. Okay, we have our thrust bearing on there. Little snake oil from Randy on this crankshaft. Okay. Now we'll pull it together. Let's, where's the parts? Here we go. This is the drive washer. Make sure that cone is in there. Hey, Tony. Whatever. Oh, man, that thing got still hot. Shit. There we go. All right. Now we need a propeller and we got a propeller here. Anything more than a gentle tap is no good. If you gotta beat shit together, it ain't going together right. So now this pulls the bearings in and lines them up. Got a long ways to go too. There we go. By doing it this way, that makes sure that everything goes in the case straight. If you beat them in and then beat the crank in or whatever, you can be off crooked. Okay, that's seated to the bottom. Make sure that it's free. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. The crank is running in where it's supposed to be. Now the hard part. This is the part that's a killer. Now I showed you that thrust washer that has a concave in it. So does the rod. This is the stock piston and sleeve with a ring on it. This is the ABC liner with no ring on it. Don't lose my head gaskets. Now Super Tigers are screwy. They're difficult. You have to put the connecting rod in and then put the piston in. And then put the connecting rod on through that hole in the back. You're connecting the wrist pin. So hopefully this will press out of here without a big problem. So we want this. Yeah. This goes on this way, and that's right. Okay. So let's see if we can get that wrist pin out of there because it's tight. I don't want to screw up my buttons. Bob Hudak. Who that be? There it is. Remember, if you got to give more than a gentle tap or a push, you're not doing it right. Okay, there's the wrist pin. Now, the rod has that same chamfer in it, and that goes, the chamfer goes towards the crank. If you don't, the engine will seize up. I mean, you'll burn the rod bearing up. So you put that on like so. You know what? Let's put a little snake oil on it. Drop a little snake oil in there. Little snake oil. This stuff here looks to me to be Technoplate is all. I don't know. It's remember what I said. If you got some other way to do it, I don't want to hear it. Because this is how I do it. Oh, forgot. Can't get that rod out till it's up to the top. Pretty poor design, really. How this, how they want you to assemble this thing. Drop a little oil on that pin. Take it out. What is take it out? That'll keep it from a dry start situation. No lube. Make sure we got the chamfer towards the crank to the top here. There it is. Okay, now it goes down to the bottom. Now we're going to put the piston on. Okay, the baffle always is away from the port. So the piston goes in like so. That's the next step. Get this piston in. There's a little hole in this, little weep hole or whatever. That goes out so you can get it out. Get the wrist pin out. Trust me, I had a hell of a time getting the wrist pin out of the stock one. Come on now. Now you got to get that thing to line up there. There it is. See, it went together real simple when I got it. Make sure that's all the way down in there. All right, the liner. I was asked this by, I can't remember the kid's name, from Indonesia or wherever. How to get the liner in there. You want to look at this liner, and the top port, the one that's the tallest, is the exhaust. Intake is below exhaust. Exhaust is the last function. So you just look at it, which one's higher? Oh, I'm out of focus there. So this port is higher than this one. So this is the exhaust, and you just set this thing in there. Try to line up the exhaust ports. And we might have to sand this liner to get it to go down in there. Let's this piston to the top. Let's see here. That or heat up the case again. There it is. And straight. Okay, we're going to heat the case. At least I got a handle now. Brian talks about sanding some off the liner, but like I say, I don't have a lathe, so we're going to expand it and see if it'll drop in. Okay, that might not have been a good idea. I can't hold it. Hot. Need to take this propeller off. Every time that I move it, it pulls the piston out of the liner. You can't do that. Yeah, well, watch. Come on, prop, get off of there. Give me a headache. Well, I got the prop stuck on there now. Shoot. Shoot. Stupid Super Tiger. There we go. There we go. If you're going to hammer on the end of the crankshaft, make sure you have a nut on it. Prop is stuck on there, boy. There it is. Okay, get that part off. Now we got to center this up. And we're going to heat it up and drive her home. There it is. You guys didn't see what I did. I turned it upside down and tapped on the bottom of the case. And I'm not beating on this thing. I'm just tapping. And that's it. Now we can put my propeller back on and make sure it's set. It's seated. It's all the way down. Let me put this on so I don't have that problem again. I don't have my micrometers up here, so I'm just going to have to use a set of vernier calipers to check the head shim, what was in it and what's going to go in it. Now, the thing about these ABC liners, don't turn it through slowly. You know, don't try to, because it'll squeak at the top. They're tight. Okay, let's put a little oil in there. A little snake oil there. Yeah, we're good to go. All right, now the little plug. I don't have any Loctite up here, or any, maybe I have some red silicone. Let's see, do I have any of that red shit up here? This is the wrist pin screw. That screw really doesn't need to be there. It'll run without it, but because the liner blocks off that hole, but I like it in there. Do I got any red silicone up here? I throw it out. I had it. I don't know what I did with it. Red silicone. Gasket material. Shit. Shit, shit, shit. What the fuck? Well, I don't see any, so I'm just going to put it in and just try to remember to either get some red Loctite on it or some Permatex gasket, red gasket, that goof to go on it. I don't want to lose my plug. I don't see it, so it don't matter. So in 40 minutes, about 45 minutes, we've rebuilt this motor. Well, doesn't include the cleaning. I've assembled it. You can figure an hour to assemble the damn thing. Not that big a deal. Whoever invented straight slot screws was an idiot. Okay, all I have are backplate gaskets for G2135, which I think is the same case as this. So I got head gaskets for 35, but I got Gardner head gaskets here. So You guys still alive out there in YouTube build? There's 10 of you. Okay, let's wipe this off. I think it goes on that way. Let me look at another one. Let me look at another one. I don't. Yeah, all right. We got another 46 here. Huh. No, I'm wrong. Goes on like so. Goes up. Okay. Yep, up. All right. Up, up. When in doubt, look. Don't just guess. When I bought my car, 2004 Saturn Vue, I bought the factory service manual. It's the thickness of 2 LA phone books for you guys old enough to remember what a phone book is. 2 books, 4 inches thick. And when in doubt, go get the book. It'll tell you. Okay, well, I don't have a book with Super Tiger, but I do have some other engines, so we'll just copy those motors that haven't been apart. They got a new base backplate gasket in it. You don't want to. You gotta be careful tightening these back plates up because you can warp them real easy, and then the engine won't run right because it's sucking air on the bottom end. I am not a big proponent of putting any goop on gaskets. The surface is machined. If the part is good, it's machined to match the other surface with only a paper gasket between it. And I built many Harley motors with no gasket goop. Gasket goop is ridiculous. And had no leaks. You got a leak, you got another problem. Where the hell is my ball driver? I wish I had a little torque wrench. They make a torque wrench that looks like a screwdriver that only goes up to 10 inch-pounds. That's what I need. One of them. Where is my ball driver? Up there it is. So we're going to bring these down in the my imaginary elbow torque wrench evenly. So they're just snug right there. And we're going to go tweak, tweak. And I'll go around one more time. That's it. That's all she wrote. Like I say, there is a torque wrench. Well, it's nice and tight at the top, so that's good. All right, let's get my calipers. The head shim or the head gasket that came off of this thing is how thick? Pretty thick. So 25 thousandths. 25 thousandths. That's the one that came off when it was running. Brian sent me head gaskets, 3 of them. We want to start off at 25 thousandths. Let's see what he's got here. He got 3 of them. I might take all 3 to make 25 thousandths. These are really thin. Yep, takes them all. 25 thousandths for all the shims. Okay, so we need to get that on the head. Where's the head? And we'll start out with this and adjust accordingly. There's the head. Now the one thing I gotta pay attention to is sometimes you gotta file that baffle off. It doesn't look like it though, not on this one. No, we don't. It comes up and it doesn't go above the liner. On the Super Tiger 60s we had to take, I don't know, 10 thousandths off the top of the baffle. That's one. That's 2. That's 3. Okay, bring this to the top. Get that in there like so. Okay. Okay, we're about done. This is the motor for this airplane here. New airplane, new engine. The same thing with the tightening of the head bolts on this. I'll probably get an Allen key and retorque them with my finger. Use my calibrated finger. But And then when you run it, you check it after it heat cycles. Yeah. Morning, Henry. Okay, this is now a Ryan Gardner motor. Put the Venturi in it and the spray bar. Okay, let's see if it turns through without crashing into the top of the head. Yep. There we go. One stupid tiger. All right. Now, I got a couple more pieces to put on it and we're done. Venturi. I don't know why these are short Venturis, but whatever. These are sprinklers. Make sure you get that O-ring on that thing or it'll suck air and won't draw from the tank correctly. And now the spray bar, let's check and make sure it's clear. Nope. Sounds clear now. I can't see shit. Okay. Piddly. Okay. What the? Cannot see through that spray bar. Because there's crap in it. There it is. It's out now. There it is. Yep. Okay. There was crap in it. All right. We're going to have the needle valve on the top because we don't want to be an idiot. We'll put this weep hole forward, right, directly at 90 degrees forward. Push down and give it a tip tap. Jam nut. So in all intensive purposes, this is a brand new engine. So you want to heat cycle it a couple of times before you fly it. Okay. I'll be getting a Randy Smith. Boy, this is bent. This needle valve is bent. I'll be getting a Randy Smith uh, needle valve for this, but let's see if we can bend it back. Probably not. Do I have another spray bar and needle valve, or take it out of one and put it in another, or what? Yeah, this is a better setup here. I don't know whose needle valve spray bar setup this is, but this is a better setup. So take this one out of this engine and put it in that. Looks to me that this is, well, it's a new engine, so that's a new Vicron gasket there. I wonder if I ought to take the Venturi out too. That's a new spray bar. Yeah. Just remember, when you're doing this stuff during the winter, you're setting yourself up to have fun for the summer. So don't second guess, don't half-a it, because while you're out having fun, instead of having fun, you're out working on something, but you're not having fun. There we go. That's clear now. It's clear now. Let me get a stick pin to stick in there, or a piece of wire. The hole is not plugged. Come on. I think someone's going to give me a problem. Be good. Okay, let's take this back out. I don't want to use this bent needle valve and stuff in this motor. Sixteen washers. And what's going to happen with this video? We're on for an hour. The motor was rebuilt in an hour. What's going to happen with this video is when I get this spray bar in, I'm going to end it and immediately start another video working on the airplane. We'll be putting some dope on it and sanding and all the other happy horse shit you got to do to get them ready. But I'm going to order a Randy Smith Venturi. A Venturi and spray bar and needle valve for this. I don't have one for it now. The reason why I like the Randy Smith needle valves is it's 80 threads per inch, and these are 40 threads per inch. So you get twice as much adjustment. And we're going to take, even though it's shorter, we're going to take this shorty Venturi and put it in this one, because it's a match. There, come on. Oh yeah, much more power, bigger. I'll put it in that one. Bigger is better. Get that hole back that way. All right, so it goes on this way. We want the needle on top. This hole goes forward into the sprinkler. Okay. Don't want to twist it. Don't want to twist it. Yeah, we're gonna have to get us a Randy needle valve. This needle valve is even different than that one. It's weird. I'm sure it'll work okay. But what fuel mix? Yep, that's it. 10% castor, 10% clots, 5% nitro, the rest methanol. This is a good needle valve. It's got 80 threads per inch. So we might just leave this one in here. Okay, that's closed. We'll open it up 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Tighten the jam down, and this motor is history. Done. I don't have a wrench that size. It looks like a metric size for the jam nut here. Oh, that's good enough. There we go. Let's move the prop to the correct pitch, give it a flip, and see how it works. That's a good motor there. That's got plenty of compression. And do not, and I mean it, do not run, run the piston up to the top and let it squeak, because you'll wear out the liner before you even get it started. It has to have pinch at the top. This will be a good engine here. Hopefully better than my George Aldrich motor. All right, let's we'll wrap this up. This is this was the building of the super tire. I didn't show the disassembly because I did it over 2 days. I mean, yesterday and this morning I got the bearings out of it. So I cannibalized this this motor for parts. We'll have to replace them with something. This is a new engine here too, but it's a ring motor. So put the bearings back in here. That way we know what the part number is. Next time I need a set of bearings. These bearings are still good. You know, the bearings would have probably been okay, but you're that far apart. Fix it all. You know, that way you don't have to worry about it ever again. Okay. All right. Join me in 2 minutes over on the next video. I want to keep this video separate from the airplane because it's really not building the airplane, it's building the motor for it. And that way, you know, if somebody wants to find how to put a Super Tiger 46 together, they can find it without searching through 100 hours of sanding, painting. I wasn't going to do that video there, but I was talked into it by John Sukalak. Said, you know, whatever stopped me from doing what I want, nothing. So we'll do it anyway. He's 100% right. Nothing stops me. John Super. Yeah, John Super. I think. I guess I don't know. Too many names. So this will last me a lifetime. All right, like, subscribe, and share this video. And shit, I just screwed up. I need the little N for that. And join me in a couple of minutes on the next video. I just looked at the channel. There it is. Look at the channel and see that I've posted another video. So till then, fair winds, tight lines. See ya in 30 seconds. See ya.